was a huge factor throughout World War I. The first major trench line was completed in November of 1914, and by the end of the war, at least 12,000 miles of trenches had been dug. Both sides used trenches, and a majority of the war was stalemates between sides in the trenches.
Trenches were not the most sanitary or happiest place to be at the time. They smelled bad and had rotting bodies everywhere. There was no place for bunks, so you laid in the mud or dug out a hole. Rats also ate the dead bodies, ate the soldiers' food, slept with the soldiers, and spread diseases.
The Allies used 4 types of trenches: the frontline trench, support trench, reserve trench, and communication trenches.
No man's line is the area between the two side trenches. It was covered with huge craters from shelling and was deserted of any life forms. It was also filled with barbed wire from both sides, which would stop the enemy from a quick attack. Machine guns and long-range rifles made movement in no man's line nearly impossible.
The best time for attacks in the trenches were in the early morning, so that you could get set up throughout the night and then have the whole day to continue fighting. Once it was fully light outside, it was clear that no one was going to attack, so you would stand down and eat breakfast. When an attack did happen, often poison gas or tanks were used.
Even though trench warfare was a main part of World War I, it didn't really have an overall effect. It did cost a lot of people their life, but this happened on both sides, so it didn't show a clear winner. Almost everything that happened within the trenches was small and didn't leave huge deaths in the enemy's army. So we think that trench warfare was a main factor of World War I, but in the end it didn't really serve a huge purpose or affect either side drastically.
Having trenches meant that the only way to attack was through head-on attacks, but these were no longer effective against modern weapons like machine guns and heavy artillery, so this caused a stalemate. The stalemate lasted for a very good chunk of the war, and in the end, trenches did not have an overall effect on the defensive side, but it definitely had effect on people's lives.